So my point is, it shouldn't take 8 years for us to see the truth. Through $300 odd million, really? To spend on something that will give us almost exactly the same capacity as the other stadium that we already have completed? What's up, guys? I guess this is now 8 years later, and perhaps this is the point where I say I told you so. We're right back here at Durban Park. I was last sat on this step about 8 years ago when the wood was still fresh, and I was telling you we were getting crap for our money, that we were being robbed, that it wouldn't last, that it was a travesty and a crime, and I've been vindicated. This is what remains of Durban Park. So here we are in Emancipation Park in the heart of New Kingston in Jamaica, and I just want to tell you a little bit about this space because I'm here to compare it to the Durban Park redevelopment project in Georgetown, Guyana, currently ongoing. We still don't really know how much it costs with all the private investors, but we do know how long it took, in excess of about 5 or 6 months to put together. And at the end, undeniably, we have a low quality slapdash product that we're told is temporary and must be pulled down before they then do whatever was intended to be permanent. Behind me here is an Emancipation Park in the heart of Kingston that used to be filthy. This was called the Ligony Park. It was a dust bowl by all accounts, and this was paid for. We know how this was paid for, unlike the park in Georgetown. This was paid for by the National Housing Trust in collaboration with the then Prime Minister P.J. Patterson. So the National Housing Trust here gives low interest loans to people so they can build houses, and the excess from the low interest loans they were giving out was enough to build this. And guess how long this park took that I'm going to take you on a walk on? 3 months. Their deadline was to transform this entire space in 3 months. And by all accounts, they spared no expense in making sure they had a world-class facility here. It's beautiful, it's lush, and I'm going to take you around for a little tour. Hold on. Yeah. Good morning. We're here again at the Durban Park project site. And why would you have to small up yourself in here? Having followed it for a number of weeks. Here we go, more slapdash. Right, have a look at this. And that gentleman there, he disagrees that this shouldn't have been converted into a wooden stadium. Right, so I sincerely hope a member of government is looking at this. Not just any member of government. I hope President Granger is looking at this and he's eating popcorn with Bobby Vera, Larry London, and Minister Henry, and they're looking at this feeling very embarrassed because they know this is not what they did with Durban Park. And that's normally the line that people that just blindly support a party, they give you. They're like, oh, I heard that from so many PPP supporters. That's right. And if you're a PPP supporter, now is a good time to ask yourself what exactly changed. If many of you were able to agree with me when I came to tell you ahead of time that Durban Park was a substandard waste of our money, why can't you agree with me today when I show you similarly substandard work? Like me coming to tell you that the Chinese working on this project are scared of how long it's going to last because the government have been rushing them to finish it before election. What's so hard admitting something is substandard regardless of which party is in office? Now let's go back to that park. Not what they did with Durban Park. They went and built a dirty wooden stadium with $300 million. Think how much nice planting you would have had. And this is actually a functional space. People could come in the morning, jog, students can use it, people can use it for events, there's arts and culture happening here. So much stuff. I want you to contrast it with a big empty space that we currently now have in a place with such potential. We're clearly losing the race. It's just so much waste. It's just unconscionable waste. I've seen the 15 army men that President Granger sent down to the site to help, but we have the space and we have the potential. So it seems the only thing we're lacking is the will and people with vision. Does that really make the best sense in terms of responsible use of our taxpayer dollars? To me, it does not. This is one day after Stabroek News publishes in the paper that this place is basically ready to go. Photo by Kino George. How could it possibly be completed? And that's all they put in the paper. A tightly cropped photo of the stadium. So really it's like the media helping the government perpetuate this lie. Like, oh my god. Construction. They got construction tape. They got 3 cones. Right, and I said there's nobody sleeping here, but I lie. Look, there is one homeless guy. I'm not gonna hide the truth, huh? There's 360 degrees of well landscaped grounds, well planted, some lovely palm trees. These guys, I say, they really know how to design a city. This is starting in the center of New Kingston, and it's just embarrassing that there's not a single place in Guyana that I can point you to with this level of attention to detail and finish. Every single aspect of this facility. On the other end of the grounds, you can now see the sprinklers have come on. No doubt automated because it's actually raining today, so they don't actually need to be on, but the system is so efficient. No denuded patches of grass and no rice eaters. You see, when I talk about them painting everything green, people say I'm losing my mind, but I'm not losing my mind. Everywhere I look, they're painting something in the PNC colors, right? The VIP booth now is green. Doesn't seem we have VIPs that like any other color. The roof is green. Cliff Anderson Sports Hall, dominant color, has been repainted green. And tell me, who is getting the contracts for all this cement and all of this material and provision of services? We are still unclear about that. And here we are, back towards the front of the Slapdash Stadium. Alright, taking a look at some of these drains. I was just passing here and like I couldn't believe my eyes. It's like, what is going on here? Is that Pebble Dash? What is that?
Oh my god.
Here are these sprinklers all working together. As one of the public buses there, they used to have a problem with minibuses just like we did, the big boom boom, and there's no big boom boom dirty dancehall coming out of that machine right down there. It doesn't look like the cleanest bus in the world. It looks a bit scuffed, but well used and much better than actually what we have ourselves. It's a lovely fountain that's in the middle here. Just walk around it and get a good look. Take a minute and let that sink in and try and remember why it sounds familiar. It might sound familiar because that is exactly what the PPP did with the Marriott Hotel. They created like a shell company, Atlantic Hotels Incorporated, and they used that to funnel taxpayer money and donations and whatever from the public-private partnership to build our hotel. And that ended up costing us $12 billion, the taxpayer. We will never recover that money. It's gone. So just take a look at all of this wood, right? When I came here before, I showed evidence that not all of these supports were properly screwed in. I'm here even after completion and seeing places where there are not enough screws. But you don't worry, the government already put you to sit on it and risk your life. Unbeknownst to you, not even one of these stands at our university, right, that doesn't have a proper sporting field. Not one. But we are building this this structure, this white elephant here. It's not even a white elephant, there's a brown elephant. Here we are in the room as some of these sound guys set up. Light in the ceiling, how you mean? Oh, you ain't got proper electricity yet. Alright. Alright, well this is it. This is the VIP experience. And I think that does it. Couple ACs in here. And let's head up the old side. So as you can see, that's the most hideous linoleum I've seen in my entire life. It's so hideous. Right, but the president and his men seem to have set up a shell company, and they can't even tell us who the head of this shell company is that's been receiving donations from the private sector, right? They can't. Are we in the mafia? Is this it must be the mafia.
So by now, I hope you understand that corruption is corruption to me, regardless of party, creed, or color. So this road here is poor and substandard regardless of who did it. It happened to have been done by the PPP. So many people who were able to join me in 2016 in calling out Durban Park as a waste of money and squander, and calling out the fact no one was held accountable, are today strangely silent. I wonder why. For indeed, we are straddled with the very same incompetence of yesteryear. This is why we need a change.
Good afternoon. It's going to be the VIP room? Yeah. So you're putting the linoleum down. This is going to be the VIP linoleum. My God. As plastic as you can get. So no tiles in here. Just good old linoleum. Let me just take a look at outside and see the view. There's it. So if people come to the stadium and they're getting rained on, this is where the government will be seeing you from. There's the VIP washrooms down here. Far cry from what everybody else will be getting. Alright, we're on the top deck. Sometimes I'll come to you And I will tell you, I see something crap or substandard like this, like Durban Park. When I came here the first time, I tell you we were getting robbed, right? Some of you were able to see that. But since then, I've gone to the gas store. Now PPP are back in. I've gone to the gas store project and showed you it's just like Durban Park. But we are such hypocrites. We have become such hypocrites. We cannot speak to the truth. Some of us can only see one color of truth, whether it is green or red truth. Truth doesn't have a color, it's just truth. But this is why I am teaming up with Forward Guyana Movement. This is why I've joined VPAC, and we've come together in a coalition to end waste and squander like this, whether it's under the PPP or the PNC. I am fed up of it. I am fed up of it. And I hope it doesn't have to take 8 years at a time for you guys to see I am right when I tell you something is wasteful and we're getting robbed for it. I hope it doesn't take 8 years at a time. Look, this is what they did. This is what they left. And APNU are asking you for your vote. PPP are asking you for your vote. Between the two of them, because before this was developed, this place was just abandoned, right? Between the two of them, this is what we have. This is why I'm asking you guys to choose something different. Unless this is exactly what we want.